So repeat after me to take this service. Aham bande Tisaranena saha Pancha silam Dhammanyacami Anugahangatava Silante Nebande Yudhiyampi Hambande Tisaranena saha Pancha silam Dhammanyacami Anugahangatava Silante Nebande Tatiyampi Hambande Tisaranena saha Pancha silam Dhammanyacami Anugahangatava Silanteta Nebande Yamhamadami Dhammedeta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa 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 Buddham saranam gacchami Dhammam saranam gacchami Sangham saranam gacchami Buddham saranam gacchami Dhammam saranam gacchami Sangham saranam gacchami Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami Dutiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami Dutiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami Dutiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami Tatiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami Tatiyampi Buddham saranam gacchami Tatiyampi Dhammam saranam gacchami Tatiyampi Sangham saranam gacchami Tisarana kamanam paripurnam Panatipada virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Panatipada virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Adina dana virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Adina dana virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Kame sumecchachara virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Kame sumecchachara virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Musavada virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Musavada virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Surameraya majapamadatthana virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Surameraya majapamadatthana virami sikkhapadam samadhiyami Idame punyam Asavakayam Mahotu Idame silam Nibbanassa Accayo Hotu Tisaranena saha Pancha silam Dhammam saranam gacchami Samadhina Sambhadeta Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, our title is Introduction to Theravada Buddhism. So, in the previous time, last year, we taught especially what is Buddha or Buddha's qualities. So, what are the Buddha's qualities? What is the Buddha? How is the Buddha's appearance? So, those we have said. Now, we're trying to teach what is Dhamma or Dhamma's quality. So it is also important, especially to understand the Buddha. Without understanding Dhamma, we may not understand who is the Buddha or what is the Buddha. Because of this, we need to understand what is the Dhamma. So, even about the taking precept, just now we have recited like the Buddha's Janakābhivaṃsa, I approach or associate with the Buddha as a refuge. Janakābhivaṃsa, I know or I associate with the Buddha, with the Dhamma as a refuge. So, Janakābhivaṃsa, I know, I approach or I associate with the Sangha as a refuge. So, we may say as a Buddhist, every day we may recite. So we need to know what is the Dhamma. So, about the Buddha, we have said what is his appearance, decorated by the two major signs. So, about his life stories. So, today just may explain what is Buddha. Buddha is who know that. Generally, we can say who know Dhamma. If so, we need to know what is the Dhamma, because the Buddha is who know Dhamma. So, there are 10 kinds of Dhamma. Dhamma is 10 kinds. So, 4 make up, we say path. In English, 4 paths, 4 fruition. 8, Nibbana, so 9. So, another one 8, Buddha's teaching. So, become 10. It is called Dhamma. So, these are 4 paths, 4 fruition, Nibbana. It is some kind of enlightenment. So to get that, we need a guide, we need a teaching. So teaching will lead these 8 kinds of attainment or 9 kinds of attainment. Because of this, teaching also Dhamma. Altogether 10 kinds, 4 paths, 4 fruition, Nibbana, and the teaching. So 10 kinds. It is called Dhamma. So I need to explain how to get, what is those Dhammas, how to get those Dhammas. So if we learn Buddha's teaching, we can see, basically we can see 3 paths: Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Sila is bodily and bodily behavior, especially. So, Samadhi is controlling mentality, concentration practicing, related to concentration, related to power, to keep the mind on one object. So, Vajna is understanding about the body, understanding about the life. So, 3 parts. So, about the teaching, Sila, we may say 5 precepts, 8 precepts. It is a very brief way. So, to be okay for the life, we have a widely teaching. Some are related to worldly things, some are deep situation. So, for example, let's say not to associate foolish or associate wise. It is very basic. Once someone associates with foolish people, very possible to have many problems. So everything, every goodness may not come to you. Something like that. It is very basic. So how to eat, how much we should eat, how to dispel attachment for the food, how to control eye, ear, nose, for example. Nowadays we can see everything, whatever we want to see. Should we see or not? Something like that. In the Buddha's teaching, we can find very detailed. So, all these are to get those higher attainments. But normally, for the worldly conditions, people already have learned. For example, how to earn money, how to survive. Those are any beings. Everybody, they may be able to learn themselves. But to be free from life, to stop all suffering, like not to age, not to sick, not to die. About that, whatever education may not give you solution. So, because of this, in the Buddha's teaching, we may try to teach higher situations. But if we learn in detail, even whatever conditions we can find. So, where we should stay, how we should eat, how to associate, what kind of education we should learn. So, how to speak, how to say, everything may include. Mostly we may have details, quite details. But these are every educated people may know less or much. So, something cause and effect, little bit far. So normal people cannot see. Doing causes now, but the results are a bit late, a bit far. If it's not so near, normal people cannot see easily. So, like a Buddha, very knowledgeable person who has omniscient knowledge, we need to point out. Because of this cause, have these results. So, if someone point out, a bit easier to know, because a teacher or point out. Like sometimes we eat something, we have a problem, we don't know ourselves. But the doctor can see that. Doctor may point out, because of this food you have this problem. So if so, we can understand. So because of this, some cause and effect is a bit far, so difficult to know. So we need to get instruction for the one who has omniscient knowledge. So because of this, I may explain a little bit deeper situation. Because the normal things are everybody less or much already know. So in the Buddha's teaching, we need to practice morality, like see 5 precepts: not to kill, not to steal, not to challenge, not to do sexual misconduct, not to drink alcohol. So basically, it is dangerous things to do. If someone do, even a better life, very difficult to get. Even a human, to be human, to be deva, not possible to get. If so, maybe reborn in the old state like animals, ghosts, hell. So totally cut off. No more attainment can be in those realms. So because of this, it is a very basic rule. It's something must do. So after that, may say like controlling difficulty, eye, ear, nose, diamond body, and thought. Not to see which is not proper, not to listen which is not proper, something like that. Nowadays we can see everything, we can learn everything, but we need to think what is it we should see, what is it we should listen. We have limited time. So within our period we must finish. So we cannot learn everything. So only should develop them, we should focus. So if we control eye, ear, nose, those things, our mind mostly stable. So can practice next step, samadhi, concentration. To practice concentration, the Buddha gave meditation methods like 40 ways, 40. So different meditation methods, different ways, different objects. But mainly to have concentration, to have power, to keep the mind on one object. But we must choose special object. For example, breathing meditation. So if we can focus by practicing according to instruction, we may be able to focus very long time. In the beginning, to keep the mind here, even 1 minute, 2 minutes may have difficulties. If we train systematically means if we follow instructions very detailed, more possible to improve. For example, monks may stay in the forest, go to bring water for the food. So have a time, not much seeing, not much listening, focusing there. So if so, more possible to improve. So can keep the mind here. If someone can keep the mind here on the breathing, on the meditation object, the mind is very peaceful. Later on will be very bright. So if something bright, we can see what we want to see. Although the eyes are closed, the mind is staying here very stable way. So the mind peaceful, happy like that. We can keep the mind on that object very long time, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So rather the rest, maybe few minutes, you can sit again if you want to sit. Although walking may not use that object. Although lying down, if you cannot sleep, stay on that, you can stay like that. What are the benefits by having those things? So 4 benefits mentioned. Presently can stay happy. Those people are happy in life. So it is very important. Without happiness, we cannot stay in life. So some people drink alcohol, see TV or movies to entertain themselves. If they are really happy themselves, no need to be waste the time. So this happiness is different from like enjoying sensualities. Enjoying sensualities is happy, but it is dangerous. For example, using drug, drinking alcohol may happy, but later may have more danger. So this happiness is happy and peaceful beneficial. So he can stay practitioner life. He can stay alone. He can stay everywhere. So only enough food that he may need. Enough place, just the dwelling place that you go and eat enough. With the little things, little properties, he can be happy. So naturally, those people are not difficult to survive peaceful. So everybody may, if go for ounce of food, also many people may want to donate. So because of good person, peaceful people love peaceful people. There are many wise people in the world. They will love those people. They may think that those people are needed in the world. So the life may not be very complicated. So he himself is happy. So also it can be foundation of vipassana meditation. Because he has a light, he has a signal. Vipassana, panya, practicing means if you want to see this, you need to keep your mind here long time. After seeing this, you understand this, you need to see this. So you should have a power to keep the mind here and to stay long time. If so, possible to see this very clearly. So that person, because of our concentration, can see this clearly, can move one after another. Very flexible. The mind is very flexible. So because of this, concentration can be foundation of wisdom. Whichever you want to see, it is flexible to see. Flexible to see, having light. So because of this, it is a foundation of wisdom meditation, or vipassana meditation. So therefore, we try to improve concentration, meditation, even can produce powers, like psychic powers. In the Buddha's teaching, help seeing many past lives, future lives, seeing in present many objects, near or far like that. But not many people success nowadays. That's my knowledge. So another one is can be reborn in a good destination after Bhakti. So it is also very important according to Buddha's teaching. We may stay in this life only maybe now our ages are already half. Another more 50 years. So although whatever we have now may not last a very long time. So future lives actually we may say more important than in this life because we are already old, quite old age. We have learned about this life. If someone is knowledgeable or healthy, so about this situation, we may not worry about this life. So already prepared quite much. But if we think a very long time for the future, so we need to do more effort. So according to Buddha's teaching, destinations have a bad destination, good destination, like a four state, 1 human, 6 Devara, 20 Brahmara. So among these, Brahmara is the best. So once you reach there, so healthy body, you will have a knowledgeable, no need to work. Everywhere you want to go, just you want to go enough, like that. Sometimes we need to choose the right place, even in human realm. Some people may choose a country. Although once you're born, Singapore may not be so bad about the weather conditions. Although some country once you was born, very less chance you get happiness. So because of this, sometimes by staying in one place, Instead of staying in one place, you move the right place is better. Choose the right place. So mostly will be rich suddenly. So in the same way, if we know how to choose the lives, it is very important. Once we're born in the Deva or Brahmas, so already higher situation, much better than human. So because of this, if we have concentration, once we pass away, we may be born those realms. When we will pass away, so tomorrow is possible. So like that, lives are not really so stable. Although we do much plans in this life. So education or working, earning money. So sometimes we think a very long time. So actually not so long. So we should be ready to be reborn in the good destination. So first step, morality, making sure. As long as our morality is good, we have like something granted or granted to be reborn. Make sure that next step, if we have concentration, more sure. Because of this, knowledgeable persons trying to collect those things as a property instead of money or like that. So it is a concentration practicing. So concentration practicing presently can be happy, can be foundation of wisdom. Where we born in a good destination. If you have a higher aim, so can produce even psychic powers, like creating many bodies, flying in the sky. Little bit noise to say, that's people gains. But some people may have a big aim, challenging. So some improvement of some people also we can see. Because of this, some people may do. Let's say if we got God, where we can fly in the sky, where you want to stay, you can stay. So maybe lunch is in Singapore, when getting time maybe in the Himalaya, as a possible. In the past, people are trying in this way. That is they are living ways. Everybody wants to get happiness. Everybody do jobs for the happiness. Those are one of the jobs they choose. So it is a concentration practicing, breathing meditation, dead body, 32 parts, 4 elements, loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, Buddha's quality, Dhamma's quality, etc. Or morality, death meditation, like a casino, white color or yellow color, red color, black color, earth, water, fire, wind. Those are meditation objects the Buddha teach. In each have detailed instructions. So we may not teach every time in detail, because some people not really focusing. If someone really focus, may teach details, more possible to improve. So those are to produce concentration. If someone have a concentration, so those benefits will help. If so, we move next step, wisdom practicing. We say vipassana meditation. Vipassana is related to knowledge, related to understanding about the lives, especially about these bodies. So, first of all, we have 4 parts. Number 1 is materiality. We have materiality. This is a physical body made of what? What is connected with the outside world? So, with the eye, something connect. How do that? How is work? So, in the same way, sound impinges our ear. So just a sound, not more than that. Reality is a sound, for example. So we need to understand how the sound hits our ear. But the problem is we translate with the wrong section, or we interpret with the wrong section. So many problems come out. So reality is just a sound hitting ear. If I say in Myanmar, you may not know, or those code or phrase, you may not know. That is a reality. But if I say in English, about the English language, you have marked before. This is a good or bad. Actually, I'm producing the sound of hitting your ear, but understanding is become different. So, whenever we see, we listen, we do more than reality, based on our perceptions. It is a good for the worldly educations, but not for attainment. For the attainment, we need to know realities, about the materialities in the body. So systematically we have to find out what materiality we have according to Buddha's teaching. So after understanding all materialities, we understand what are materialities in this body. So we may not occupy, this is a me, this is a mind, like that. So knowledge is also very sharp because of concentration, power of concentration, like having a light. And the light may penetrate on the body. Body is not just a block. Everywhere. If you want to go into the eye, can go into the eye. If you want to go into the ear, can go into the ear, can stay. Even small pieces, the mind can focus. So in the same way, if you want to see into the heart, can see into the heart. So in the body, no place where our knowledge cannot reach. So any small particles, how it works. So according to instruction, have to see, have to discern. If so, no gaps about the physical body. So everything understand. If so, you can dispel, especially non-self and non-self view. So normally we have this is my body, this is a me. So it is just a view, not reality, but not easy to understand. To understand that, have to see part by part. If so, we will see. So first of all, discerning materiality. Second, discerning mentality. After understanding materiality, can understand mentality, which is arising based on materiality. So when we see something, we feel something like that because of based on eye sensitivity. Eye sensitivity can contact color or form. So once it hits those things, we think something. This is man, or this is woman, flower, or something like that. So because we have a discerned eye sensitivity, if something hits, wait upon that, mentality arises. So at that time, you can understand quite clearly. So before understanding eye sensitivity, if we try to see what is it hitting, what is it rising, may not know. So because of this, first of all, need to discern materialities, especially eye, ear, nose, something we contact with the outside world. So whenever hit something, our eye, ear, nose, and body, our minds are arising, basically. But although not using eye, ear, sometimes we use heart, just thinking. It is also taken by mind. So still mentalities are arising. Basically, mentality may arise in heart, eye, ear, nose, and body. So in those ways, when we see something, mentalities are arising eye and heart. Whenever we hear something, mentalities are arising here and heart. And the same of nose and heart, tongue and heart, body and heart. Or just a heart. Just a heart means something you think. Just a heart. So those are the basic things. Mostly based on heart, mentalities are arising. So we understand various parts. After that, waiting from there, trying to invent with the objects. So those mentalities are arising. So we can see that. So according to instruction, we need to know what is this, one by one we need to know. So if we do a Gananaka, later the perception of being, perception of me or mind slowly will disappear. So understanding mentality. So at that time we will understand how we think, how we see, how we accept, how we are happy. Every day we will know. So about the mentality, we can know mentality as a mentality. We know we will not combine together, this is a me or like that, because we can see very detailed how it works. So sometimes, if we see each functions, it is quite clear, quite simple. But if they work together, become very complicated. Like the computer, like that. Surely may have, I don't understand much of the computer, but may have a specific functions. But when they join, very complicated. In the same way, our body, if we see materiality, mentality in each, quite simple, have own nature. But when working together, we see, now I'm speaking, sometimes shaking hand, moving mouth. So like that, laughing, crying, blinking eye. Those are all small parts are working together. When we join together, so may think this is one of the being, or this is a me, like that. So if we take a part by part, so at that time, this is not being, this is not me. So a group of mentalities and materialities are working together. So about the mentality, we understand basically mentality as a nature, they will understand. So next step, have to see what are the causes. What are the causes of materiality, mentality. So who creates something like that? Who creates? What are the causes? For example, let's say our body, 4 causes. One is food, very obvious. If we have to eat occasionally, if we not eat, this process will stop. Eating also, if we eat good, the body will be good. If we eat bad, the body will be bad. So another one is weather. If the weather is changing, very hot, very cold, this body may not be very stand. In the same way, another cause is mind. If our minds worry, sorrow, worry will change. If happy, will change. Another cause is a river, gun. They say gene. Some people say gene. So although eating is the same, someone may have a problem, the other one may not have a problem. Because the gene is different. Some are only original one very good. Some mistake, they are no problem. So these are causes. Although we have designed to be healthy about this body, but if we cannot change these causes, the body may not follow your design. So actually, body is dependent on these causes, not dependent on our design. So me and mine means if this is my work, no connected to all or to all, according to my desire must be. So if something is connected to or related to others, this is not my own things. Somehow may take away. So in the same way, body although we wish this is me or take care a lot. If these four causes sometimes fail, problems, so the body may have problems. Because of this, body have causes. Because these causes also their own cause. So no creator. Everything have conditions, each conditions. So, for example, food is a cause. Food is not everybody is the same. Some people can get good food. Some people cannot get. So, based on their karma, they have done. In the same way that you may have chances to stay in a good weather, but the others are not. So they also have a reason. In the same way, karma. Now I have a body. A body can speak, it can do something, can think something. So if I want to be good, so speak a good way, right things. If I want to be bad, speak bad things. So that is it. Why become bad karma, why become good karma is based on my knowledge, based on I have learned something. So knowledge also can make karma go or bad. So karma itself also have causes. Because of this, if we find causes, everything has cause. According to Buddhist view, not creator. Creator means only he creates others, then he himself not dependent on others. So what the Buddhist view, everything have to dependent to something. So nothing independent. So because of this, first of all, I'm trying to see materiality in the body. Second time, mentality, how we thought. Third time, what are the causes? So if so quite clear about those upasanas, how to manage the mind. If one to be how to do. If want to be happy, how to do. So how to be happy, quite knowledgeable. So after understanding these, next step, have to see rising and perishing of those rising and perishing. So everything's are rising and perishing. For example, my hand from here may move and do that. So any materiality from here, no time to move there, or destroying here, or spoiling or dying here. Why? I can see here is going and rising and perishing, rising and perishing. Not really from here to there. For example, like this electricity, all the time lighting. You may think it's the same light, surely not. From the generator, releasing new ones. The old one disappear, but new ones are coming. So if anyone may be more clear, there's not enough spotting. So nature is quite obvious. So here is because of new ones training. So although something disappear, not obvious because of new ones training. But reality is something passed over very quickly. The other one training. So in the same way, we standing here every second, more than faster than second, very changing. One disappear, the other one fail like that. How we can know? So if we are not knowledgeable, such a small amount we will not know. Maybe you may see 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you were photo. Now you see that maybe the appearance will be different, a bit older, So it is if a long period, if we see so differences is obvious. It is not from last year to this year suddenly changing, surely slowly changing, day by day or hour to hour, minute to minute changing. So in a reality we can see, or we can guess at least, changing is quite obvious if a long period. But practitioner may know very even small parts because of knowledge slowly increase by practicing. So because of this, any materialities, even those flowers, tribals, and disabilities, stay by changing. Not just one thing stay in stable ways. So all arising and perishing. Even our body, other beings, or other buildings, anything in the world, staying by changing. So after understanding these systematically, because part by part, knowledge is very sharp. It can penetrate everything, even in the wall or body, so we can see arising and perishing. So if a practitioner practices continuously, sometimes discerning materiality, sometimes discerning mentality, sometimes discerning cause and effect, and seeing arising and perishing. So if you do again and again, we see very clearly, faster and faster. So at that time, everything is like break down, let's say small pieces. So maybe able to, or can be able to, can reduce detachment. So by seeing arising and perishing, need to contemplate nature, impermanence, dukkha, suffering, anatta, non-self. It is impermanence, reality is correct. But we may think permanent. So permanent also, yeah, we may say body is standing quite permanent, maybe 100 years. But this view is not beneficial. Whoever has these views are permanent, later will cry. So many people do like that. So not beneficial. May say correct for the whatever they can say, but surely not beneficial things. In the same way, as long as we think happiness, so this view is not beneficial. They say happy, but cannot be happy all the time because dependent on many conditions. So better we have as a suffering. If so, our mind may be more stable, may not cry very frequently, at least. So reflect as a suffering, and reflect as a non-self. Because we have seen very detailed part by part, any thoughts, any materialities. So they have their own nature. They have their own nature as arising and perishing. Can see clearly. So at that time, once we think non-self, the mind is reaching. Understanding, more and more understanding. No, not like like now, something like that. More reaching, more deeply understanding. If so, about the things, about the bodies, they have a less attachment. They are thinking as a dangerous things. This body or everything are dangerous things. Really also dangerous. Whoever has a body, many problems are coming. So whoever has lives cannot stop the problems. Only may stop for a while. You must hope problems. So some people say there is a problem. It is correct. So now we will be okay, but it cannot be okay all the time. In the same way, economy will be there will be time nothing useful. as a racial family, or what. So not much value we have cannot be stable. Because of this, if we have to see reality, we try to accept reality. Because we cannot make it stable, only we can make to understand. If I understand is a normal, with the normal thinking, quite easy. Everybody in the past already passed away. Even a very powerful people cannot last a long time. So past also not have present people also, although they establish education or establishing family, learning education, earning money, all will lose one day. Also nearly all will cry at the end. So if we do this way, will be the same. All will be loser. So nobody can make their own life to be stable, but have ways to accept, to understand. So, for example, the doctor may see some patients. He may try to cure that patient, but the other patient die. Doctor may not cry. Why? He didn't cure. This is his body. This is his relatives. In the same way, if we more occupy, more possible to cry, even all bodies. So, because of this, we try to do in this way, as a metta, as a dukkha, as a anatta. So, if it is much or whatever we see, or arising and perishing, quite obvious. The mind is a bit, like hate or don't like those things. Want to go beyond. So normally to go beyond, not easy. For example, you stay in Singapore, to go out from Singapore will be not so easy. You need the perception of suffering about that Singapore. So not so easy, because of that your own place, you have stayed a very long time. You have established there. So in the same way about the body or all the worrying things, we didn't done it on there very long time, although it is correct or not correct. Although it is suffering like that. Because of this, you need to contemplate until enough. Again, not just one time, two times. So if it is enough, the mind automatically may reach something free from that. That is what we call Nibbana. So, as an object, the mind will take. So that object is different from the other side, whatever it is. The other side is impermanent, but this side is permanent. The other side is suffering, not stable, and this side is stable. So not created one, unconditioned things. So once the mind sees some doubt disappear. Because of the Buddha teach, there is Nibbana, that object. Before we cannot imagine what is that. Also, Buddha really had one, you may confuse. Now because of going this process, you are reaching there. Maybe you reach there. Once you see that things, you will understand the Buddha also. There is Buddha who can teach to reach there. So, in the same way, you come practicing morality, concentration, wisdom. About the morality, you will believe it is a beneficial thing to do. About the concentration, you will believe. About the wisdom practicing, you will believe. You will not have doubt. Is there Buddha or not? You will not have a doubt. Is there beneficial things, so-called Sila Samadhi Panya? So once he see, first time he see, that's his mind is true knowledge gaining path and fruition. That's sort of a mega, sort of a path and fruition. So path, this is just one mindfulness. but we got one person. But that person may last only 1 second. First noble person. After the move, second noble person. Fruition knowledge. So now he got one path, one fruition. Nirvana is the object. 3 message, 3 dhamma. So he can dispel doubt, he can dispel the wrong view at that time. All the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, he becomes clear. Because the Buddha is who can teach this Dhamma. Dhamma is this kind of statement he already taught. Sangha means this kind of noble person who owns Dhamma, who realized the Dhamma. He himself ever realized, if so, he may not doubt. Is there anyone who can improve in Dhamma? He may not have doubt. So now he may get a faster path and fruition, Nibbana as the object. So not yet finished. Need to practice again. Do again this sequence. Do again. Next step, we will see again the same thing, but more clear. Nibbana is clear. This side also as a suffering. It is very clear. So next time also is my path and fruition. Nibbana is the object. So second path and second fruition come 4. So need to see again, need to practice again. The same thing, practicing ways is not different, but more clear. Get always Nibbana if it is enough. So at that time, another path and fruition will arise. Knowledge will arise within him. Nibbana is as an object. So we call him Janakābhivaṃsa. So he can dispel anger. No more anger that person. Although anything encounter, he will not worry, he will not have anger, he will not be disappointed. Also may not enjoy sensualities, like the husband and wife. Also may not eat dinner, may not hold money, something of their nature. So usually they ordain as a big those things. But some people are not ordained in the Buddha time because they have some responsibilities. Taking care of the mother, father who are blind, something like that. If so, they may continue to stay as a living life. But their mind is totally don't want to enjoy any sensualities. Only attachment to the jhana may have. Attachment to the Brahma life they may have. If they die on the way, they may return Brahma realm, even if they not be humanity. So if you want to get a liberation, practice again this discerning materiality, mentality, cause and effect, rising aversion. So later if it is enough, we will see beyond. Even internal, external, wherever he see, whatever he see, all are rising aversion. Become very obvious, very clear. So if it is enough, we will see Nibbana. So in the 4th time, once he see it is enough. So all defilements that can dispel, all attachments that he can dispel. So at that time he got another path and information knowledge will arise within him. Nibbana as the object. So 4 times. First time, path and information knowledge. Second time, path and information knowledge. Third time, path and information knowledge. 4th time, path and information knowledge. Nibbana as the object. So this is a 4 path, 4 fruition, Nibbana as our object. 9. So teaching, Buddha's teaching, Buddha's guides, Sila, Samadhi, how to practice, how you should stay, where you should stay, those are teachings. Because of those teachings, you get this concentration, this path and fruition of Nibbana. So teaching also counting as a Dhamma. Teaching, 4 path, 4 fruition, Nibbana. 10 kinds of Dhamma will get this thing. So once he gained Nibbana 4th time, so he can say no more jobs already. He may announce, Katankaraniya, I have done what should be done. Like that, nothing to do anymore. So anything happen, in the world, anything happen in the body, he will not occupy. He will not depend on anything in the world. Anything happening in the world may not affect to him. Venerable comes the food. Other people offer, he may not be disappointed. Doctor may try to cure a patient, but the recover or not recover, doctor may not cry. Because he not occupy. If he occupy, he will cry. So, in the same way, he still take care of body quite well. He may still doing good deeds, but no attachment. Because of no attachment, no become karma. His actions are just actions. Don't want to get any life. Like you may have money, but if you don't want anything, those monies are not useful. So in the same way, he still survives, but his mind is very stable, not changing. So if you follow those views, so you will be more and more stable. Not Arahanta stage, not suddenly reaching, not suddenly changing. From those views you hold quite a long time, slowly improve. Because of this, once you practice these views, your mindset will be more and more stable according to stages. Less changes, can be more patient, maybe less crying. So more brave, well united. But Arahanta stage is the last stage. No more need to do anything. So this is what we call Dhamma. So what is the Dhamma means? Dhamma is a four mega, four phala, Nibbana is as the object. To have these things, we need Buddha's teaching, Buddha's guidance. So Buddha's guidance, accordingly, if possible, Buddha may send until the Arahanta stage. But some people only they hope one conditions, want to be healthy, want to be wealthy. Have a reason the Buddha given. If someone want to be Buddha, want to be human, how to be human, the Buddha teaches. Someone want to be healthy, so the Buddha teaches. Wealthy, anything. Every story in the Buddha's teaching have how to be Buddha, how to be Arahanta, how to be Buddha's disciple. Have stages. How we can remove in the air, it is also air. That is to avoid the Buddha, no, to do, just to avoid. So in the same way, how they reborn in the animal life, how they reborn in the human life. Any process, the Buddha mentioned very clearly. Even different people, human life, in the past, they have some are rich, some are beautiful, some are powerful. Every story has what are the reason. Because of this, in the Buddha's teaching, we can learn what we want to be, not just on that stage. That is the highest point the Buddha recommends to stop all suffering. Also, we still have chance to choose lives. So, in the Buddha's teaching, we can find those things. Also, according to our ability, we can practice. So, these are dhammas. So, for my graph, Nibbana is the object of Buddha's teaching. Basically, we say Dhamma Sarana Gacchami. I approach, I associate with these Dhamma as a refuge. As a refuge means very strongly, not as a friend. As a friend is sometimes you associate, sometimes you ignore, okay? No need to. The friend may not be good all the time. Sometimes we may have mistakes. In the same way, we may associate someone as a parents. That can be mistakes. But this one, as a refuge means cannot be mistake. Only you follow that must be okay. Should not be any mistakes. must be correct. For example, killing and not killing. If someone do killing, surely dangerous. If someone not killing, it is surely safe. Something like that. So if it is higher, more human. So like the faster path you have. If you have a faster path, you are even only humanity or surely you will not even full state. Something like that. So because of this, we need to associate with this Dhamma as a refuge. So trying to follow. So that one cannot be wrong. That means as a refuge. Buddha, as a Buddha, we associate with the Buddha as a refuge. So any instructions are correct. Only we need to understand the right way. So they are also the same. Sangha, no bad person, no bad monks. No, not like us. We are like some statue. Similar to the real Sangha. Because of morality, like the true seven, we try to follow. But sometimes we may break as a defilements. But very good to see, because quite similar. You is the same, morality the same. Only real Sangha is never break, never condition to break. They don't have that, never defilements. May not instruct you anytime wrong things. But ordinary people, when they have something defilements, not so sure. But quite similar. So sometimes Janakābhivaṃsa means refer to noble persons. If you go to noble person, they will not be wrong. Always correct. Always aware, do benefit for you. So that means Buddha's Janakābhivaṃsa. And associate with the Buddha as a refuge. And associate with the Dhamma as a refuge. And associate with the Sangha as a refuge. Very strong one, not just as a friend, not just as a parents. Those are not so sure. So as a refuge is a very sure things. So these are Dhammas as a conclusion, just 10 kinds. After understanding these basic, I have a chance to explain what are qualities of Dhammas. Maybe next time and try to teach. This time I should stop. Okay. If there is a question, you can ask. Brother DJ, I think no, okay. Do you have any question? Yes, although like an introduction, it is quite deep. But anyway, for the beginners, need the connections. Sometimes need the connections. That is something the whole from beginning until the top. So rather we may explain like part and part.
I would say Buddha also respect to the Dhamma.
Respect them.
Buddha respect to the Dhamma.
Yes, those are why he become Buddha, because of Dhamma he has. Because of those attainments, he become Buddha. So one of nature of the Buddha is idea is everybody should stay with the respect. So he stay respecting to the Dhamma. So everybody should have something respectable, something value for their life. Okay.
talk, but he mentioned about the 10 kinds of Dhamma, and one of them is Nibbana. I don't know how to phrase this question. Well, now maybe with Abhidhamma knowledge, I can accept that Nibbana is object that one takes, like when he attains path and fruition. But see for example, when I first started to learn about Buddhism, Nibbana seems to be a stage of enlightenment, somewhere that you go, something that you attain. So, and that is still a popular view among Buddhists, like Nibbana. Why do you want to be a Buddha? Why do you want to be a Buddhist? Eventually you want to attain Nibbana. You want to be enlightened. So, it's hard to imagine that Nibbana is an object only. Most people think that it's a state. So, would Bhante be able to talk a bit about this?
Okay, so why we want to get Nibbana is, so it is quite simple. Because once we see Nibbana, we can remove attachment to whatever things, conditions, even in own body, like that. It's a final stage, because we see Nibbana like 4 times, Even the first time we see wrong view and doubt can dispel. So once we see Nibbana first time, so about the believing morality, believing like reducing some attachment for the body, so those are automatically will happen. So because of this, that person, we have rules not to kill and not to steal, can follow easily. They don't have nature to kill. They don't have a nature to steal. So normally, if we know a see Nibbana, so if the mosquito bites, we want to kill. But we have also rule should not kill. So a bit difficult to stay. So if someone see Nibbana, about this morality, he believes very strongly. So even if nature, the desire to kill, no have. Also not much attaching in own body. So just a mosquito bite to try to kill very cruel things and small things. Mosquito is a very small thing. Actually, you should not do for someone. So if a less attached, but someone if strong attached in the body, so everything harm to the body, you were against, you were do. So by practicing systematically, reducing attachment to the bodily things, and finally have a chance to see Nibbana. So once we see Nibbana, also this one is not so valuable, we think. So because of this, although other conditions are hit, our body or our conditions, our mind, because our mind not attached to that. So we have better ones, better things. This one is stable. Nobody can steal it. Nobody can take it. Also, it is we're not destroying again. But what evidence we have these things, dangers are surrounding. We have a body, dangers are surrounding. We are education on everything, not stable. So this one stable, you can depend on that. So once you see Nibbana, these suffering things are clear. So although anything effective for that, you will not worry. But normally we know you have these things. If so, we depend on that. Only we have these things. So this is also cannot be stable. So we depend, but we depend on that, but that one is not stable. It is very dangerous. So better to get something stable once. So if we have any time we can see, whenever we see will be cooling, will be happy, even present life. So, but if this body finished, for example, passed away, because of no more newcomer, no more situation to gain body, to gain life. After passed away, no more lives. So, for those who attach life, who attach programs, it is also still programs. Because they want to get life. So, they may not want such situations after passed away. So, because attachment to the life is very strong. But life presently is really very suffering. You don't know quite a long time you have seated, you may be paying back, you have to move. So that is a start suffering. If you continue to sit for 2 hours, or be more obvious. In the morning you must wash and brush. So something like that. So it is because of we attach, governed by delusion, we cannot see those sufferings. Very much attaching. Also we have nothing to depend on exact incidents. So if we have a mindfulness good, another good things you can hold. So that's the idea you will get. Even concentration, practicing concentration. Now if you don't have concentration, you have to depend on family or money or something like that. If you have a concentration, half, maybe 50%, you will maybe able to reduce. Depending on money or depending on family. Although no family, okay. Father, mother, no father, no mother, also okay. No children, also no wife, no husband, also okay. So become very quite free and quite obvious. But never is the top. Never. If morality, even the first stage in morality, if you have, you can depend on morality. No faults. Those persons normally quite happy. If he has a concentration, stay alone, okay. You maintain the poor things, but happy. Overall, if you come to 1 year, you can stay alone. That's 1 year, even one time, you may not cry. Maybe you stay with many branches, husband, wife, son, and daughters. Maybe 1 year, how many times you will cry? Something like that. That's what you depend on. If you are something you depend on is good, you have less sorrow, less worry, less crying, more happy. If something you depend on is not good quality, more worry, or more sorrow. So once you reach nirvana, so very less suffering. That dependent is stable. If for the time, totally can stop any suffering. So because of good things that we're trying to get. Okay.
Hi, Vati.
Okay, well, I'll problem. You want to thank
No problem. My question is, I'm not really clear on what is path and fruition, and how does fruition actually work? Yeah.
Path and fruition is you lately come in here, so I explain. Path and fruition is which you can able to take a special object, we call it nirvana. So it is one of the mind which can reach very good object. So it is by practicing have to increase. For example, everybody breathing, but only a few people can focus breathing. We have mind, we have breathing. Reality is that even breathing object everybody clear. but only a few people can know. Some people even they say, I'm not focused, I don't know, like that. So, although it is a reality, it is obvious. If the mind not have power, we cannot take. So if it is good to take, the objects are good to take. We should have ability, such kind of mind, such kind of knowledge to take good object. So the further provision knowledge is one of the mental factors, one of mind which it can take special object, which is what we call the nirvana. So we cannot get suddenly such kind of knowledge. Have to practice systematically. After that, only will be able to reach.
I read on Google that fruition is actually the ability to stop karma, as in, like, there's the seed of karma and it has fruit. And then fruition is the ability to see the karma and stop the tree from growing.
Yes, correct. Because to get those fruitions, we have to discern, for example, partial or materiality, mentality, cause and effect, trying to see rising perishing of that. So if we see those things all arising and perishing, even home body or other things, so very quickly arising. So if you contemplate as a impermanence, non-self, as a suffering again and again, so attachments are less and less. So because of attachments and less, so the mind can go beyond these whatever things, reach to nirvana. So once he sees nirvana until the fourth time, so totally no attachment for the lives. So although he do karma, good or bad, still doing good deeds, but bad deeds will not do. So, but not becoming karma. Karma is not just an action. Doing karma, we need action, we need attachment. If so, attachment and karma can work together to produce light. You may say to produce trees as a seed. So only you have karma, but not have a craving. Something like that. You may have money. Some people have money, but they don't interest in anything. Money are not useful for him. They don't work. So only money and designer, if so, may work. Just money, no designer. So you may work. So if someone have a fruition knowledge, so he will not value any whatever things. So no craving any human life or any lives, no craving. Still surviving if this body, because this body is still producing previous karma. This body, until maybe my body maybe last 100 years, may still craving. So because of previous karma. But if it becomes arahanta, if you got a fruition knowledge, from there no more new karma. So although he do actions, no desire anything. So the last actions are just action, no more karma. So once this body finished, produced by previous karma, no more trees. No more seed, no more trees.
But if there's already a seed, will there be a tree, or is it?
Seed, because you may have money already, money, but if you don't have a desire anymore, what money, what work, for no work, you don't want to use. You don't want to get any properties from the shop or sufferings. So money not useful. Money and desire may work.
The actions are the things that happen to you, or the things that happen, they still happen. You know, it's not like you can stop it from happening. You maybe have no attachment to it, but it's still going to come. At least that's the way so far I see it. You know, even, never mind.
Actions are still happening. So he do to survive, he eating. To survive only, it is also just a need that you do. It is one of nature, then their nature. He will not cut off their life. He tried to rightly earn him. For example, if he is a bhikkhu, they go Venerable in the morning. Accordingly, people may donate, may not donate. That is their case. He will go like 4 arms around, may eat some amount. He is still working, but not done by attachment. So done by responsibilities.
But like previous karma.
A previous karma have, but karma, not just a karma alone. For example, we may say according to scripture, if you only have a seed, if you don't put soil or water, that will not grow up. And that seed is will dry up, which is up without increasing trees.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask about. But for a concrete example of that, I cannot find one. Yeah.
So, seed to grow up and need water or soil like that.
Yeah, but a real life example, I haven't been able to see one before. Yeah.
Such a kind of person.
Such a kind of situation happened where karma can be stopped. I have not seen before.
Ordinary karma may not stop. Only Arahanta will stop. Although you see Arahanta, you will not know karma stopping. Only you may see he is quite stable, not like other people. Sometimes you may be able to see if you are knowledgeable of Sangha. But karma stopping is one we can know. Normal people will not know. But you can know some things. Whoever follow Buddha's teaching, reality with the faith, their mind is different from some other people. Because it's not suddenly changing. Dharma practice means not Arahanta states, it's suddenly changing, slowly changing. Even own self, you follow this one, for example, after 1 year and before 1 year will be different. So that is maybe able to see.
Okay, so my next question is, like you say faith, you need to follow it with faith. But when I started meditating, I had no concept of Buddhism or faith, and still meditation still worked for me. But you insist that you have to have faith. So I'm wondering, why does it work for me if I don't have any concept or faith?
So faith is just saying about the one factors. Normally, although we say faith, and not just a faith are working. You have some amount of knowledge. You have some amount of knowledge. You may see some bandage, quite okay. You follow all the breathing. You know the problem, like that. So knowledge, some knowledge also working. Some faith, although you may say not have faith. Once you try to know the breathing, because of some amount of faith you are doing. If you totally don't have a faith, why you want to do this breathing?
Because I think all you need is the ability to go to one point. Then after that, for most people, you need faith, you need emotion, you know. But as long as you can go to one point, usually it's okay, no.
Yeah, you follow some speech and you got some concentration. So you have a better experience. So maybe the faith and the child will increase, although you do not notice. As long as you are doing about these jobs, I may know that you have some amount of faith.
Okay, Bhante.
Okay. So, shall we narrate? Idame punyam Nibbānassa Paccayyo Hotu Mama punya bhagam Sava sajjanam Vājemi Desabe Desamam